I was sitting down in Mozambique with the entire UN family around a table. There must have been 25 representatives of the UN. They were the technicians. They were the people who were involved in the programs in the field. And they recited for me the nature of their interventions and their engagement. And it went on for an hour and a half. It was very impressive. And at the end of the hour and a half, I said to them as gently as I could, in this entire narrative, I have not heard the word woman. And Mozambique is one of the countries in southern Africa where the prevalence rate is still rising. It went from 14 to 16% in the last year. 16% is a cataclysm for a country, and it's mostly the women. And I said, who's responsible for the women in the UN system? And there was a lot of shuffling and a good deal of embarrassment, and the deputy UNDP representative took the floor, as it were, and said to me, well, Mr. Lewis, I guess we're responsible, and I want to assure you that we're thinking about it. And that was the exact quote. And I want to tell you, it speaks accurate volumes. Because in truth, empowering women to withstand the predatory sexual entitlement of men has not identifiably changed in the African context. Saving the lives of HIV-positive pregnant women is yet to become a singular priority within the context of many of the African countries. Paying the home-based care workers, whom we describe as voluntary workers, when in truth it's conscripted labor, and they're all women and they sustain the societies. That hasn't been advanced in a significant way by the United Nations. Finding the resources for the grandmothers, to whom Joanne referred, has never been a target and an object. And these grandmothers, they are looking after between 40 and 60% of the entire orphan population, who now number something close to 12 million. How is it possible that in the legacy of multilateralism over so many years, we're not yet at a point where we deal with issues around women that are so compelling and so insistent and so imperative in terms of the response that's required? Launching testing programs in countries of a kind that would deal with the stigma and discrimination against women hasn't been confronted. Restoring property rights and inheritance rights, which are so gratuitously taken from the women in the course of this pandemic, that hasn't been dealt with. Keeping girls in school is a rhetorical objective, but girls are being taken out of school time and time again to look after sick and dying parents.